Deanna, this is Dennis Clark from the Golf Pro from the school where you took lessons for a few days last week. And I want to review a couple things that I gave you about your setup and your grip. Of course, we talked about that. And I wanted to get a little bit more. I'm going to send this video for you so you could sort of look at it from time to time, or as often as possible, and try to emulate the posture here. So you have the knees very flexed and the rear sort of in. She has the rear more out and the knees much less flexed, so she's more what we call over the ball. You see where your arms are hanging pretty far out this way, where her arms are hanging pretty much under her shoulders there. So that's the posture that I'd like to get you into. And as we went on, this was I believe this was the early one. And I had a problem with my system, which is another one of the reasons why I didn't get back to you guys with this a little bit earlier here. But I don't have the other one. But this is the beginning anyway, and what we worked on correcting. So you did correct this. You were in a much better posture position. So we don't ever want to hold the club up so that it's up here through the chest area. We want to let it go down right through the belly button or the belt buckle area. That would be a good height to hold the golf club. Okay. And I fixed your grip. We moved that over. Now I did say to you, just like I said to Steve, that if you start hitting the ball and it's going like too much like this, then you may want to consider moving that grip back to neutral. But for now, you should have the V, the crook of between the thumb and the knuckle of the index finger of your left hand. Okay, picture the knuckle of your index finger and your thumb. There's a little V there, a little crook in your hand, and that should point at least to your right shoulder, maybe even a little further for now. And the club should be held nice and lightly and in your fingers. Okay, those are important for you to remember. Okay. Now the swing, what the problem with the swing is, a lot of it caused by the setup. See, if I put this down like it should be, I'm going to take it off your club for a minute and put it down kind of where we want it. And watch what you do here. As I said to you before, other than perhaps the left arm being a little bit too bent at the top, your position at the top is really not too bad. The club face is nice and square. That's a good position right here for the club face. You've made a nice shoulder turn. And for the most part, you keep your posture. There were times during the sessions there for a few days where you lost your posture, but that's very good. To stay in your posture like that is excellent. So you have very few changes to make as far as the way you're taking it back is concerned. Okay. What happens now, though, is that if this cone area, as I explained in the school, is where you want to swing down, what it tends to do is the hands get a little bit too close to it, and you see how far outside the club is. Now, again, my card did not record the ones that you had a little bit more inside. You did much better with this. But you just have to picture here how far out this club is, and there's the shot you were hitting, of course, was a shank, and this part of the golf club, the hosel or the shank or the socket, it's got several names, that's where you're about to strike it, and this ball will shoot straight off this way. Okay, so if we can get the club down a little bit, coming more from the inside, and I'll show you another example of that. This is Danielle Amakapani, and you'll see her club as it approaches a little closer to the ball like yours is. You can't see because there's a little bit of a blur. They don't have as good a camera as I'm using here, but it's coming from in this way. And that's what we tried to do for you, was get you what we call more inside. So she hits it right on the middle of the club, and you're about to hit the heel of the club unless you pull the arms in real hard and what we call chicken wing it. And when you don't pull your arms in, that's when you shank it. So you kind of correct a fault with a fault there. But the idea is to get your arms to swing more down under your shoulders. Notice this, there's her right shoulder, there's her arms. You don't want to let your arms get too far out away from you, or the club get too far out away from your arms. So that's the deal for you, is you have to keep the shoulders closed longer and drop the arms to the inside And then last but not least would be to get some what we call release to your hands. You really don't have a bad golf swing at all. We can get you a lot more power if we can get a lot more leverage into it. See the left arm there? That can't do that. That's a power outage. And you see your glove hand? All right, now let's watch this gal's glove hand. See it disappear? That's what you learned during the bio. Left arm stays close to left arm, I'm sorry, stays close to the body. It doesn't chicken wing like this and bend and go out. And that she rolls the hands over through the golf ball. So if we can get you hitting from the inside and getting some what we call release power, which is the rotation of your forearms, you're supinating the left palm up, pronating the right palm down through the golf ball, rolling over it right here, you're going to get a lot more power as you did during the golf school. See, this is a real guided hit where you see no release to it. The longer I see that left arm bent and the club like that is a spear through the ball without a lot of... Here's Adam Scott, who actually blew the tournament today. See that rollover? That's just the thing of beauty for power in there. And they shouldn't have all this gap in here, so we get that together. So those are the pointers to work on. As I said, hopefully this went to your cell phone as well, so you should have it. And you get your body turning and get your arms a little more connected to your body and releasing from the inside, and you're going to be a much better golfer. Okay? It was a pleasure having the two of you in school, and I hope to see you next year. Just give me a call when you're coming down, and we'll set up a nice hotel package for you, and we'll continue your improvements.